All right, hey guys, welcome back. Today I have a very quick video for you. This automation is for you guys who are more focused with local clients and also those of you who have a lot of in-person communication that you have to do. And what it basically is going to be an automation that is going to have a Google form filled out and an email, like a follow-up email, gets sent to your customer, client, or visitor. Let's say you're in a scenario where you have multiple people and you're trying to speak with many of them, and you want to be able to reach out to every one of them in a prompt fashion. This automation will help you with that. A second way this automation can help you is if you are a door-to-door salesman trying to reach multiple different vendors in a local area, let's say, and you want to be able to effectively follow up with all of them. So what you can do in this case is, instead of having the person you're visiting fill out this automation, you as a salesperson can fill out the details in this form and have an email drafted and sent to them instantly or at periodic intervals. This is going to save you a lot of time and actually get you speaking with clients and spending more time in the communication part of things than it is in the email side of stuff. So if that sounds interesting, then this is the video for you. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly show you the deliverables that we're going to try to achieve in this video today. Basically, have a Google form created. It could either be filled out by the visitor or you as a salesperson, and then send a follow-up email. That's basically what this automation is going to do, but it is going to save you a lot of time, especially if you are dealing with a lot of people and you do not want to miss out on any opportunity. This is going to make you seem professional in the way you operate, because as soon as you speak with them, they are going to be able to get a email with all the information they need. You're going to be able to you are going to create that in advance for them, and it's just going to make your life a lot easier. So let's get started. First off, what you're going to need is a Google form. And secondly, you are going to probably need to prepare any documentation like a brochure or product information, service information. You're going to already need to have all of that be on hand, because you are going to be selling a product of some kind, right? So you're going to need some of that product on hand, but provided that you already have that, I'm going to show you what you're going to have to do. So the first thing is create a folder. Simple. In this case, I'm just going to be using this, and I'm going to call this product information for customer visitor. What you would do is you could save all that documentation that you would want to give the customer or visitor in this folder. The next thing you do is create a Google form. And right now this is a shared folder out in here, so which is fine for the moment. So I'm just gonna make a very quick contact information form, but you can see how this could be adjusted to what you want. So I'll say, hypothetically, let's assume I'm just gonna stick with Kaizhen. Kaizhen form, no, Kaizhen visitor form. First name, last name, make this required, last name, required. Company name, not required, because maybe the visitor doesn't really have a company, you know, they could just be a regular retail customer. Of course, you'd format this you'd format this form to what you would see fit. Email, that is required because we will be sending them a follow-up email. Let's see. This one, we can do a multiple choice. So for this, we can do product/service. They interested in. You can do option 1. You could substitute this with different services you provide or actual different products. And if you want to make it interesting, you can go ahead and add an image in here as well. So once you're done with that, this one could be questions that you have. Questions that you have. And we're going to leave that as a paragraph. Not required. This, of course, is required. And multiple choice. Checkbox. We're going to do this as checkbox because sometimes you might... okay, so this, it depends. If you have multiple products of which you can sell more than one at a time, you would use a checkbox. If you are selling something that they would have to choose one or the other and not multiple of them, then of course you would go ahead and choose multiple choice. You can see which one you would need to choose. Right now, I'm going to go ahead with checkbox. And any questions you might have. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that for now. It's going to make it very simple and basic. Next, we're going to have a URL, which we can copy and just leave over here so that we can test. So that's going to be the URL that we send out to anybody if they were going to fill it. But we wouldn't necessarily be sending this out. What you would instead be doing is you would be keeping that on person. So either probably on a tablet that the visitor can type into, or your salesperson would have them on the phone, which they could type into while they're conversing or after they've completed conversing with the visitor or customer. All right. Next, now that we have the form, we have to do one more thing, which is link to sheets, create a new sheet. Before that, Kaizhen visitor form, create. What this is going to do is create a Google Sheet onto which all your information is going to get populated in here, and it's automatically going to create it in the same folder that you created the form in. And that's all good. And we have our required information, and we're just going to leave it at that for the moment. Next, we're going to go ahead and set up the make automation for this. The first thing we're going to do is get the Google form. watch responses, and the form ID you are going to get from here. This section in the URL is the form ID. You can go ahead and put that in here and do a limit of, we'll do a limit of 5. It depends on how it depends on how busy you get for a period of time. You can have this set to run every 15 minutes or every 1 hour, and then you can kind of gauge how much you would need done during that interval of time. Let's say you're at a show and you have like 50 people come in within an hour, then you probably want to have this running every 5 minutes instead. It's going to be a little more prompt. But you would not want this to run every 5 minutes if you're going to be using this like once a day, and because that's just going to make it very inefficient, because it's just going to start executing. It's going to try to execute this scenario when there is nothing to execute. So you would want to avoid doing that. But anyways, we'll have this set with that specific Google Form ID, which I went and put in here. The second thing you're going to want to do with this information is, of course, send an email. But this is where you can kind of customize things a little bit. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and fill out this form. Right? I'm just going to put my information. Then all right. And I am going to go ahead and assume that I have multiple things that I'm interested in. I'm going to go ahead and choose 2. So what that is going to do right now is that form is going to get submitted, and you can see in a Google Sheet, it goes ahead and Google Workspace is nice and it automatically does this. But what we are going to do is take it a little step further with the automation. So we're going to run this module right now just to see what the bundle looks like. So it's given us the information. So our last name, first name, email, and all that stuff, good stuff is going to be here. But what I'm trying to show you here is, since we chose 2 options, it's going to give you 2, you could say, an array. The answers is going to have an array of an option 1 and option 2. So unlike every other section, which is just going to give you 1 value in its answer, here it's going to give you 2. And you need to pay attention to that, because when you start sending emails, and if you want to customize those emails to be able to cater to a specific product, then you want to be able to have an email that accommodates this, if that makes sense, right? What I mean by that is we would need to be able to use the iterator and get your product information out of there. So if I were to run this again, choosing all information, and now this is going to split it into 2 bundles. So it's going to take all the information from those answers, and it's going to split it into 2 bundles. This way, you can picture this. What you can do here is you can have 1 email gets sent that is tailored to 1 product, and the other email gets sent that's tailored to the other product. So that way, they're going to get the best of both worlds. So they're going to get an email specific to that product, and having this iterator will allow you to create a router from which you can split and use filters to determine which email gets sent. So that's what you're going to be using the iterator and the router for if you have multiple products. So at this point, it's going to be pretty simple. You will search for the email module and do a send an email. Oops. Set up a filter and have this filter look at the value that the iterator brings in. And in this case, we're going to have this equal to option 1. And it has to be, in this case, I'm making it equal to because in the form, the value that comes in, we already know what that value is. So what we can go ahead and do here is set this filter condition as option. This top thing is just a label. That's not going to affect it. This is the condition that it's connected to, and that has to equal to option 1. I'm just typing option 1 in that top just to label this so it's easier to see in the whole scenario. Next, we have a clone. I won't do this just yet. I'm gonna set this up first. So I have my email that's connected to this. The recipient is going to be this email address which they've provided. The subject is going to be thank. In my case, I'm just going to write this as thank you for your interest in Kaizhen. Of course, you can fix this to whichever way you'd like to fix it. Hey, and I'm going to be putting name here, but I'm just doing a little placeholder in this. And since this is an HTML, you are going to need to add the break option, so to add spaces. Thank you. And the Google link the link to the Google folder that we created, the product information, this one. So we're going to share this folder to anyone with the link. And this folder is where you would house any of the documents that you'd like the visitor or customer to see. And then go ahead and copy that link. Oh, no. We do not want them to be an editor, just viewing, because this way they can get the information from there, they can download it, but they won't be able to make any changes to it. That's important because every one of the visitors and customers that you're sending this to is going to have access to that folder. And so we do that. We save that in here. So that should be good. The next one is name. This gets changed with the first name answer value that goes in there. So hey, there should be a space. Okay, now there's a space. Space, name, comma, break, thank you. The rest of the email in HTML with the link, and we're good. So that's the email. For this month. And in option 1, so next I'll just go ahead and clone this, have this setup filter gone to option 2, and have that value be equal to option 2. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this up here. Email for option 1. Option 2. And this one, let's say, is going to be almost identical. You could probably change it out as you like and say that, excited to provide, to share. And then you could make this a little fancy. You could probably do another folder for this product if you'd like to do that as well. So you could probably change this around. I'm just going to leave it as it is, but this is kind of just to let you know what you could do with this. So you could change the wording around. You could probably even make a new Google Drive folder and fit that in here. There's a lot of things that you can do, a lot of ways that you can switch this out. And I know that I have one more in here in terms of options. There's an option 3 as well. So you could go ahead and choose. Actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this a little interesting. What I'm going to say instead of option 3, nothing for now. This is more likely. Very likely that this is probably more likely. So what you could do instead with this is a bit of a strategy, right? So what you could do here is, of course, you could do another email. And this email is for, oops. No, delete, go away. Rename email for not for now. So in this case, let's just go ahead and choose this, make a copy of that, set up a filter, nothing for now. This value is equal to nothing for now. And here we'll say, thank you for visiting us. I could say, I know you are currently not, and of course you can still send that, or you could provide them with a special discount, send them to a link to another funnel. Options are endless. So you can basically, you can go ahead and customize this to whichever way you like. And that basically is what I have in terms of what the operation would look like. So let's just say okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and fill this out and choose all of them. So you can kind of go ahead and see how this works, and you can see how each of the emails would look like. And I need to change, thank you for entering option 2, thank you for entering option 2, and thank you for visiting us. So there's going to be 3 separate emails that's going to come through this if I go ahead and submit another response. So I'm just going to go ahead and say Damian Kao, that option 1, option 2, nothing for now. I'm going to go ahead and run this, and the most recent thing which I just went and did is going to have, you can see how the iterator bundles all 3 of the different options in this case for this one form submission. It runs it through the router, and the first filter takes option 1 but denies the second. This takes option 2 and this takes option 3 because I went ahead and chose all 3 of them. And it went ahead and sent emails. So if I were to go here and refresh my inbox, what if I used my email? And this is another thing that you could do, of course. If you have a different person responsible for each of the different products, you can have this email gets sent from each of them, each of their emails. So then that way you can further categorize and organize stuff as well. So another point that you could follow probably. So let me go ahead and try this again. Run this module only, choose where to start. Just so this doesn't go and do multiple of these, I'm going to delete all of these and see what's the most recent one. Code. And it has all three. Okay. Save. Choose where to start. There we go. The other email didn't really work the last time. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Reload. I should have 3 emails in here. Okay, there we go. Now we see it. So the first one, thank you for visiting us at our showroom. All good stuff. And then a link to the Google Drive. Right now there's nothing in there, but of course you're going to put something in there for them to be able to see. Then you'll have the second one, which is this, and then the third one. Of course, if they don't choose all 3 of them and they're going to choose 1 or 2, then they're going to get 1 or 2 of the emails, or they're going to get just 1 email. And if they're not interested, or if you decide to choose that, if they seem that they're not interested and your salesperson is going to click in on the Google form saying that they are not interested, then they're going to get this email instead. Of course, you can make it to whatever you like. This is just a very simple automation that shows you a Google form that's filled out, an iterator that you're going to be using to split any multiple choice or checklist based questions, and then use a router to split that into different emails. You could get a little fancy. Actually, you could probably get a little fancy. I'm not going to do that here, but what I can tell you that you could probably do is you can ask for their website. You can ask their website on here and have that as a requirement. Let's say you're doing something that's related to website building, or if you want to just get a little more information about them. This is something that you could probably use for lead generation as well. And I can kind of show you a tidbit of what you could do with this. A little bonus. I'm just going to give you a little bonus, not related to this, but I'm just going to give you a little bonus here. So what you can do is you can have a section here filled out for website, right? So let's just take, let's just look for, let's just say DocuSign. Well, why not? So we're going to go into DocuSign and look at this page. So let's say a customer has a page that looks like this, that's providing some information, right? So this would be their website, right? I wouldn't really follow this. Okay, so that's their website. Fine. What you could do is somewhere in here, based off of the service that they provide. So let's say option 1 looks at optimizing the website, just optimizing the design of the website, or the copywriting of the website. Let's say it optimizes the copywriting of the website. So what you could do is you can have HTML. Oh, sorry, not HTML. What am I doing? HTTP. So HTTP. make a request. I'm going to send this out over here. And then I'm going to use the DocuSign URL. But of course, what you would do in this case, you would connect it somewhere in here and have that connected to the Google form, right? So I'm just going to show you what you can do with this. Basically, you're going to get AI to look at this website and give you a summary with which you can use to word your email a little better. You can do a get, body type, raw, content type, text, and okay. So run this only, and it looks at DocuSign, and the output is data, and it's going to give you all the data from that web page. So next, you're going to get ChatGPT to create a completion. Whichever model you like, I'm just going to go with GPT 4.0. System, you are a helpful and intelligent website copy writing Jesus Christ. Copywriting assistant. Excuse me, this is 12 in the morning. I forget how to spell writing. Okay, so user. And here you're going to say help read through this text passed from a client's website. Make a list of identify potential improvements and write a two short graphs max as a summary. Then user, and I'm going to paste something here, but before I paste that, there is sample token. Max tokens are 2000. It might seem like a lot, but I feel like we might need to do something. So here are information that we get. This whole thing needs to be switched. So HTML to text. Okay. Unlink, run once. And you can see this kind of cleans it up a little bit. And we're going to get that information and put that in there. So once we do this, I already have as I mentioned in some previous videos, I already have a OpenAI API account set up. So you'll need one of those to be able to do this, but once you have that set up, then you can just connect your OpenAI account into this and you're good to go. So quick run, what you could do from here is if they provide you the website, then you can have that connected as a part of the service. So a demo, quick inspection of their website, if you may. So you can have this HTTP request, look at their website, pass the text, you can send that into ChatGPT and have them create a little description like that you've gone through their website and you're kind of giving a summary of what potential improvements you could do with it. So summary of content. I do not want a summary of content. 2 paragraphs max as a proposal. You give in an email as a website copywriting professional for a client. Go ahead and run that again. Yep. So I'd leave the body of the email. So what you could go ahead and do with this is provide some examples of how you want it to be formatted. So in this case, reviewed and passed your content to refine the website or propose to streamline, whichever. So what you could do with this is, like, now remember how you had this email, right? So in the body, you could say in one of the breaks over here, you could go ahead and fit in the result in here and then add a break, right? Of course, you'll want to be able to clean this up so that it's going to give consistent results. But once you do that, then you have right here a mini quick check their website and give them a proposal type of deal. When they take a look at that, they're going to be like, sure, you went ahead and did something. And if they don't want it to seem too fishy where you did this too instantly, if that makes sense, if you want to give it some time, you can of course go ahead and have this form read, like have this set at a predefined time. So like if you want to do something technical and specific like this, you can go ahead and do this like daily at 5 p.m. or every 4 hours, every 5 hours. Then that way it's going to be able to give some time where it'll make it look like you've gone ahead and taken a look at their website, right? So this, I mean, to be fair, if you're going to work with a customer and their website, you probably would want to look at that website at some point. But this is if you have a lot of clients coming in. So if you have a lot of visitors coming and taking a look at your site, a lot of people that you're speaking with you're at a convention or a show and you have like 50 people, 100 people come to you for that day. You are not going to be looking at 100 websites at the end of the day. You are going to be exhausted at the end of the day. So this is your personal little assistant that's going to take care of all of that and send emails to them, following up with them, basically making your life easy. And yeah, that's all I have for this scenario. Let me exit out of here. But yeah, so basically, I wanted to start this off as a simple little short video, but this ended up being an almost 1 hour long video. I hope the tip that I gave at the end with using AI and ChatGPT to be able to kind of customize the email might help some of you. This automation is going to save you a lot of time with regards to that. And I hope you liked the video. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. And also don't forget to sign up for the waitlist. The community is going to go up within the next few weeks as of the time of this recording. In addition to that, if you have any recommendations or requests for automations of any kind, preferably using make.com, go ahead and type it in the comments down below. Or when you sign up for the waitlist, you can type it in there as well. Wherever you like, just let me know, and if possible, I'll try to get to that in one of the videos in the future. If you watched all the way to the end, thank you so much for doing so. I am surprised you were able to sit through the whole thing, but thank you, and see you next time. Have a good day.